So welcome to everyone. This is our first Connected Falkirk 2 for your Toolkit session. I'm Andy, part of the Connected Falkirk team. We have a full team on the call today to help facilitate this synchronous CLPL offer. In this session, we'll be diving into two collaboration tools that can be used in the classroom, with the main aim being to ensure we make today's session easy to follow, show how it can be useful to you, and how it can be compatible in your classroom. If you have any questions during the session, please post them in the chat and we will hold on at the end to answer these. Any links that will be required during the session will be posted in the chat as we go. Now, normally this is where I would hand over to our first presenter, but today it is me. So, I would like to share two different Padlet overviews with you today. So Padlet is a fantastic collaboration tool for any aging stage. It doesn't require the end user to have an account. Padlets can be shared through any VLE via a link, or what we are going to use today, a QR code. You can create a free account that allows you to have free Padlets, but you can get extra Padlets by inviting colleagues to sign up. So teamwork in this case definitely does make the dream work. You can make sure you can use them as starter tasks, extension tasks, reflection tasks, graffiti boards, carousels, model answers, and the list goes on and on. They allow people to post comments, photograph, web links, extended answers, and comment and like each other's answers. And another great part is that you can download all responses in a PDF at the end of the lesson to share back to all pupils on your VLE. So I'm sure you'll agree, all in all, a great collaboration tool. So let's start by having a look at Padlet. As you can see on my screen, it is the last app. So when I tap on Padlet, it takes me into my landing screen. I want to show something very quickly first. When I tap on plus to make a new Padlet, you will see that here is the overview of all of the different types of Padlets that you can create. Now, all have slightly different functionality, but today we are going to have a look at two. We're going to have a look at the shelf and the canvas. Two very, very important ones that I think give us a real overview. So the first one we are going to have a look at today is the shelf. Now, I've already created this Padlet for us. So as the Padlet opens, what I would like us to do is we're going to make this a little bit collaborative today. So if you have a device with you, whether it's a phone or an iPad or a tablet, I would like you to try and scan the QR code, please. Now, to do this, you just, if you're on an iOS device, you need to open the camera and hold it up to the screen, and that should allow you to scan the QR code. So, to log in to our Padlet, I have given us three really open, simple questions. So, as you can see, we've got different people are now starting to add their responses. When you log in by scanning the QR code, it will take you directly to the Padlet website. You don't need to create an account. You can simply just log in with your name and details. Now, to add a response, as you can see, we're having lots of responses coming in. You just tap on the plus under each of the questions. So, as we are getting some of the responses in, I want to show you some of the features, the additional features within Padlet. So, in the top right, you have the cog. When I tap on the cog, you will see this brings up all the different options that you can customize your Padlet. You can change the wallpaper, the font. Now you can put it so that new posts come in at the top or at the bottom based on the task that you would have. But the one thing I do want us to show us is the reactions. So when I tap on reactions, this is different tools that you can use with your classes or pupils to show responses to questions. So we have set it up for vote. Now, as you can see, if you then have a post that you like, so, oh, there's Italy, I do like Italy, I've been to Lake Garda myself. As I tap on the plus, that then adds it as Italy, and that then, by voting, it brings it towards the top of the feed, which is a great thing if you're looking to get pupils to, what would you say, kind of agree with different pupils' responses. So that's really easy. Another option that we have is by tapping on the three people in the top right. Now, as I said, you can share it with your VLE through a link. You can see how easy that is there by just simply tapping on copy link to clipboard. That then allows you to paste that link into your VLE. You can also see that what we've used today is you can get your QR code from there. When you tap on that, it saves it, it just brings it up on your screen. You're then able to take a quick screenshot and post that onto your VLE as well from there. Now, one of the important bits is that I want us to show, the final part is this idea. As you can see, we have lots of responses coming in that you and the pupils and yourselves are able to scroll through and see that you have lots of these responses. That's great because it's allowing pupils to collaborate together and add different responses. When you tap on the two arrows, that allows you to copy if you want to create another one, or that idea of you can publish it as well from there. So the final thing is if we tap on the ellipsis, I highlighted this at the start, you can save each of these Padlets after every lesson. So as you can see, really simple, tap on the ellipsis, PDF, that saves it as a PDF, and then that allows me to then post that back onto my VLE. Another kind of time-saving tip there is that, as you can see at the bottom, it also allows you to clear all posts. So if it's something that you would use with more than one class or on numerous occasions, you can just clear all posts once you've already downloaded that from there. So the second Padlet I want to go into with us is in relation to the canvas. So as that opens up, you will see you have the same QR code. So once again, can you please scan the QR code with your device? This time, as you can see, I have added the question at the top, and I'm looking for 3 different responses, if possible, from the pupils in relation to this. Now, the good part of Canvas is it allows you to customize it slightly different. As you can see, all of the responses as they come in are not in lines under the questions. So this allows us to tap and hold and then move the responses around the screen. So I can see Miss Abercrombie's just added a response there, so I can put that next to it. So it allows you to start to group these responses together. Now, as you can see with this one, I have, instead of the voting tools, I have the star tools. So that allows people to tap on those to like them. I have also added in the comments. So now when I tap on Miss Abercrombie's post, I can tap on a comment, and that then allows me to potentially give feedback, or it allows me to ask other questions based on this. Now, one of the really good parts of Padlet in relation to the canvas is that when I'm moving them around, when I tap on the ellipsis, I can change the colour of the notes, which could be good if you're trying to link things together. But as you can see, we have Connect Post. So when I tap on Connect Post, it then allows me to go and look at all of the responses that have came in, and I can choose to connect. As I connect that, it then adds the arrow together, so that is shown that those 2 responses are linked. So I hope that's given you like a little bit of an overview in relation to both the shelf option and the canvas option. I would recommend going and having an investigate and play further into this idea of Padlet and what it would do. But I'm sure you'll agree there's a number of different uses for your own classes. I personally have seen staff using it for a huge number of tasks, and if I'm going to be honest, I'm always amazed at how staff use this to collaborate with pupils both in and out of the classrooms. So I suppose for me, some of the key aspects that I've seen it being used are character analysis in English, kind of sharing verbs and nouns in English. I've seen it used really well in imagery tasks in art, summarising notes across the curriculum, cause and effect in geography, chemical reactions in science. In the practical subjects, it's been great where you can post a video or a photograph and pupils can comment on the responses in relation to that. I've seen it used for checking understanding, and I suppose in the current climate, one of the real important ones I've also seen it being used for wellbeing check-ins. So I'm sure you'll agree that definitely Padlet has many, many different options that allow staff to be able to customise that for sharing and collaborating. So without further ado, I am going to pass you over to Kerry, who is now going to share with you Mentimeter. Kerry, over to you.
Thank you very much, Andy. So yes, we're going to have a look at Mentimeter now. Now, Mentimeter, if you haven't heard of it, is an all-response system. Some of you may have already heard it, may well have used it. This is going to be just a whistle-stop tour and a little bit of a practical demo. Now, to get started, you do need an account, but it is free to sign up. So we're going to go to www.mentimeter.com, and if I open Safari there, you can see I already have it open. And once I'm logged in, I simply tap on New Presentation to make a new Menti. That's going to bring up the option for me to put in a name. I'll just put test just now. And Create Presentation takes me through to this creation screen, which will come up in a wee second. It's just taking a wee minute. There we go. So I'm not going to go through all of this. I'll let you explore this at your leisure, but we will do a wee tour of the basics. So under this type tab on the right hand panel here, you can see that I've got all different kinds of slides that I can choose from, and they all have slightly different functionality. So you can see here I've got multiple choice, scales, ranking, etc. to choose from. If I just tap on multiple choice just now, you'll see it automatically moves me on to the next tab, which is content, and this is where I get into the meat and bones of it. This is where I actually change the slide contents as you would expect. I then have a further tab just to the right called Customize, which lets me change various things from whether the instruction bar shows, the layouts, I can add images, etc., so on and so forth. Just above that Customize tab, there's a little Settings cog, which is useful because I've got a couple of other things in it that you might want to take a look at. So I can change the pace of the presentation, I can allow comments, I can even change the language if I want to. So it is important to note that with a free Mentimeter account, you can only have 3 slides in your presentation. But that's fine because people tend to use this as an insert in their lessons rather than make their entire lesson on Mentimeter. So 3 slides is usually enough. And you can have as many presentations as you like, which is good. So things on Mentimeter save automatically. If I tap on the little home button just next to Mentimeter there, it's going to take me back into all of my Mentis. And if I scroll down, you'll see there's the test one that we've just made 2 minutes ago. It automatically saved. But what we're going to do now is show you Mentimeter in action. So I'm going to go to, and this is where I get to be a Blue Peter presenter, one I made earlier. And I'm going to tap on this one called Connected Falkirk 2 for your toolkit. The 3 dots at the right hand side is going to open up a bunch of options for me, and I'm just going to tap on the present. And in a little second, you will see that the presentation starts. So on the top, there are very, very clear instructions for your audience or for your class to follow. So you're on a device just now. If you want to join on a second device, on a phone or whatever, that's absolutely fine. You just grab that, go to www.mentimeter.com, or you can use the web browser on the device you're currently on. And all you're going to do is type in that code. I'll just read it for anyone who is kind of on the browser off of the meeting screen. The code is 99469. 99469. And something that's important to note is that when you are a teacher and you're making a Mentimeter, you're using the website mentimeter.com, but when pupils play the Menti or engage with the Menti, it's www.menti.com. So we're going to start with this word cloud slide, and we've already got lots of people working on it already. We're looking for synonyms for happy. Now on your device, you'll see that I've made space for 3 word submissions. When you're setting this up as a slide, it is editable, and you can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however many you want. And you can also allow or restrict participants multiple entries. So here we are, we've got a word cloud starting to form. I love that joyful is the middle word there. That middle word is bigger because that means more people have said joyful, delighted and cheerful. And you'll see the words change as more and more people add to it. Now you can see how this might be useful for something like vocabulary building, kind of like what we're doing here, or maybe introducing new topics, getting kids to say what they already know about something, or even, as Andy has already said, for a wee well-being check-in perhaps. Now, we can export this at the end But a good tip here is if you're going to use this as a discussion on your virtual learning environment or in class, it might be a good idea to screenshot it so that you've got a copy. So I'm just going to press the home button and the power button on my device at the same time. And there we go. I have, it's going to take a second to catch up, a wee screenshot's been taken there. You can see it in the bottom and that'll go straight to my camera roll and I can access that at a later date. Now on the bottom right hand corner, I can see that 39 people have managed to add to this Mentimeter. So that's loads and I'm really glad that you're joining in. What we're going to do is we're going to move on to the next slide now, just by swiping the screen. I'm going to swipe my screen and move you on. So this next one technically isn't really collaboration in the strictest sense of the word, but it's a new slide type called Pin on Image, and I think it's really, really interesting. So if you've ever watched Richard Osman's House of Games, he actually uses something like this as a round in the game show sometimes. So what you're doing is you're tapping on the screen where you think Denmark is. Now, full disclosure, I had to look up where Denmark was before I set this slide, but I wanted to bring it a little bit of challenge today. And what I've done here is I've used a basic image of a map here, just to illustrate what the slide does. Now, I'm not a geography teacher, I'm an English teacher, and I actually almost made it an image of a sentence, and I was going to ask you to pin on the verb. If I was home economics, maybe it would be a plate of food, and I'm asking you to pin on the carbohydrate of the meal. If I'm teaching maths, it might be various different triangles, and I'm asking pupils to pin on the scaling. There's lots of different things that you can do. Basically, anything where you want pupils to identify something gives a really quick overview of how many of them can actually do that. And I can see here that 15 people have excellent geography skills and know exactly where Denmark is. That's gone up to 17 now. Somebody seems to think that Denmark is just next to Edinburgh, which is quite concerning. But let's not judge people on their geography skills. So I'm just going to move on to the final slide, which is an open-ended slide type. And this time, I'm quite simply asking you for your favourite TV show. In this current time of very limited entertainment option, we all perhaps need a wee recommendation. I myself have just watched It's a Sin on Channel 4, which is absolutely excellent. I would highly recommend it. And for anyone who is a drag fan, the 2 seasons of Drag Race at the moment, both UK and US, are very, very juicy. I would highly recommend them as well. And we can see that we're starting to get results in here. And pupils can write whatever they like, and it comes up together on the same screen. Now, this is anonymous, and there is no way to find out who has said what. So a little tip here is that if you're using this in class, and you do want to be able to identify who has said what, you will need to put that in your instruction to pupils. But obviously there are benefits at times to anonymous responses. And we've got lots and lots and lots of stuff there. So that I can't wait to watch that Cecil Hotel documentary. It's going to be so exciting. So yeah, that's the sort of open-ended slide type. So we're all done here. To close the Menti, again, everything saves automatically. I can just X out of it, or what I'm going to do here is I'm going to move into a new tab because I've already got it open. And you can see here we're back to the presentations, back to the presentations screen. And the one last thing I guess to talk about, just like Andy spoke about, is setting the Menti. So it might be that you plan to use this again. And so I can go back into the presentation, and if I actually tap on it this time and go into it, you will be able to see when it catches up that I have the presentation there. You can see the little word cloud is all there, it's all populated. And I've now got this big blue box asking me, do I want to use the presentation again? I can download the results as an image file to use later by tapping on download results, or I can tap on reset results and I can wipe the entire Menti so that it's fresh and ready to be used again with a different class or with the same class again at the end of a block of learning, whatever it is that I might need it for. So thank you everyone for joining me on that very, very whistle-stop tour of Mentimeter. Hopefully that was useful and you found something that you might be able to use it for and it might be compatible with your teaching. I would love for you to get in touch on Twitter and show us how you've decided to use it. If you have especially any cool ideas for pin on image, because I don't know about you, but that's certainly my favourite slide type at the moment. Thank you so much. Andy?
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Kerry. So I think you'll agree, and I hope you do agree, that you've found the session today easy to use, compatible with a number of different tasks, and useful in your learning and teaching. So thanks very much for everyone for attending. That's the session finished, and you're free to go. But before you head, we would really appreciate your feedback on today's session. And the feedback link has been posted in the chat by Mary Jane. We do look forward to seeing you again soon. If you have any questions or queries regarding your connected Falkirk device, you'll see on your screen that those are your link members of staff, so please contact them directly. Now, as we said at the start, we're going to now kind of have a look through the chat and we'll answer any of those questions directly. So if you've posed a question, please feel free to hang on at the end. But if not, thanks very much for your time. Please complete the feedback link for us. Thanks very much. Bye.
Thanks, guys.